BTech in Mechanical Engineering from Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology. It's in, I, I completed my BTech in 2012, and I for a year in Cognizant as a engineer trainee, and then I got my master's in mechanical engineering from University of Florida from 2015 to 2015, and then I worked as a validation engineer in Hendrickson International from 2015 to October 2018. Then in October 2018, I was my H1B was approved in 2016. It got stamped from December 2016 to September 2019. I was part of Layoff back in October 2018. Now, at that same time, from September 2018 to February 2019, the premium processing of H1B transfer was suspended. So many other employers were hesitant to hire H1B applicants. So I did interview with few companies like Dassault Systems and a couple other good companies like Honda and all. But things didn't move forward, and the 60-day period was approaching. So I came back to India. I came back to my home, Hyderabad, India. And then I was randomly applying to different companies. I got interviewed by Eaton, Schlumberger, ExxonMobil, and couple other companies. But with every company, I was facing the same question that, hey, Pramod, you have experience in USA, but what is the bet that you will stay in India? You might again go back. So with all this dilemma, and even with going through some hospitalization issues, so I eventually got a senior design engineer at Science Pratt and Whitney Center of Excellence in Hyderabad. So I joined that.
That's a good job.
Yeah, it's a good job. Basically, from automotive to aero engines, it was
no, I'm saying the company is also good. The job is good too.
Yeah. So it was like, okay, I started working, but because of this COVID scenario, our team was losing the number of projects, and they laid off close to 2,500 people. I mean, from different teams. Yeah. So, I mean, Cyient has like different projects with different companies. Like Pratt and Whitney is one wing, GK Aero Systems is another wing, Boeing is another project, Siemens. So it counts with different.
Let me ask you, were you working for Pratt and Whitney directly, or it was a subcontractor?
No, I was working for Cyient, and Cyient had with Pratt and Whitney.
Okay, so you were a subcontractor to Pratt and Whitney. Okay. Yeah. So the company Cyient, they laid off 2,500 people. Is it layoff is in your location with all these companies? Is it just this company, or a lot of companies are doing?
I mean, there are not many mechanical engineering companies in Hyderabad as you find in Michigan or Ohio.
Right. But in general, there are a lot of companies who are laying off because of COVID.
Yeah, we have seen pretty good number of layoffs in Hyderabad too. Like randomly, like
it's just with manufacturing companies or software also.
Software, I feel few got affected, but I don't know which companies exactly. But we have seen that in Cyient, most of the projects got affected because Cyient primarily deals with aero or mechanical engineering projects.
Primarily. Is it Indian company Cyient, or is it outside?
Company.
Okay.
The chairman is BVR Mohan Reddy. He's a guy from Hyderabad itself.
Okay, got it. So let's move on. So what happens after that? So you got laid off when?
So I got laid off in May 22, 22nd, 20.
Okay.
So meanwhile, what happened was like in the 60 days period back then, when I was. So what few people suggested me was to apply to those day one CPT universities. So I applied to the Harrisburg University in Pennsylvania. That's where I have seen that most of the people were going. Like typically when a person doesn't get their H1B approved, they apply for day one CPT and they start or continue working in the same firm, and they apply for again another round of H1B lottery. So I applied to that, but I didn't get the admission in the 60-day period. I got admission in March 2019. So I kind of deferred it to fall, and I just went to the consulate and with the I-20, I just tried, and they have approved my F1 visa. And but I just joined science, so I thought like I'll defer the admission to the next thing. So I deferred it to like April.
Mm-hmm.
And but meanwhile, this entire COVID scenario came into picture, and again I deferred it to the current fall. Now the airports are on, but the current scenario which I see in TVs is that or the news is that the Trump administration or ICA is stopping people with who are all taking online courses, and most of the courses are online these days. Even there was another article floating these days where Harvard and even University of Southern California was asking people not to come for the fall semester,
Okay.
especially
Okay. So Pramod, what is your actual questions like? I want to just put more focus on your questions. Like I've seen, so, but
was my intent was to again go back to USA,
mhm.
data analytics program, and I mean the master's program, and then eventually look for job because 60-day period is a very tough period to get a job.
So my
So my goal
question,
was to like
yeah,
let it,
right, right. But here is the thing. So
yeah,
I think what you are thinking is, should I go back, take an admission? Is it that the right choice, or should I stay back? Is that your question?
yeah.
Okay. Or do you see yourself doing a PhD or an MBA or things like that? See, there are two, three questions that I want to address here. I think
Yeah.
one question you have is, so my thinking is, let's say this COVID thing did not happen, and
Yeah,
you were working in Pratt and Whitney, you
yeah,
probably did not come to US, right?
yeah.
You probably would have stayed back in India. Is that correct or not?
I mean, I would. My aim would be like, as you said, PhD versus MBA. My inclination would be towards MBA.
No, no,
Uh,
no, no, no. My question here is, see, what I'm struggling to understand here is why you, I'm feeling this, why you have this desire that you have to come to US. That's my question.
First is
What,
pay. Yeah,
uh,
first is better lifestyle. And I have worked in Henderson International. It's a product-based mechanical engineering firm versus Kind is a service-based model.
mhm.
It's like I have clearly seen the difference in the work style and ethics, and like there is like,
Big gap.
different companies and work culture,
Okay.
and definitely see a brighter future in USA because the way I have worked with different
Right, right.
people.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking you this question is, I think all of the things that you said, that is the reason most of the people come to US, right?
Yeah,
Right. So I think there is no question on that. You get better pay, you have bright future, the work ethics are better, you feel more relaxed, the work culture is better, and all those things, right? I have
yeah,
never worked in India, so I can't say much, but probably you can tell me more. But here's the thing. What happens if you get stuck with the H1 again? And this will happen. That's my point.
hmm,
Then you have to
yeah,
go through the same circle.
yeah,
And to be honest with you, the reason why I'm saying it, because of COVID, this is more happening now.
yeah,
People are not
exactly. Yeah,
finding jobs. So let me tell you,
yeah,
I spoke to a lot of students these days. I have spoken to a lot of students from University of Florida, which are not able to find jobs.
yeah,
They have to go back home.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
so my question to you, you can take a risk of coming here. Probably you have to pay from your pocket, right?
yeah,
Can you take that risk? And then you are not able to find the job,
yeah,
for one.
yeah,
Number two is, let's say if you are able to find a job, you
hmm,
trust me, you will have this H1 problem again unless and until you don't get green card.
The
And
burning.
no, what I'm saying is unless and until you don't get a green card, this problem will happen again.
Yeah.
And you are not going to get green card. You know that with a
Yes.
master's degree. It
Yeah.
never happens now. The wait period is 40, 50, 60 years, right?
Yeah.
And I let me give you my example, okay? I fortunately actually I live in Akron, so it's not far away from Canton,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
actually I used to work for a company, Rolls Royce, whose office was in North Canton.
Oh. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
so I knew that area very well. Okay,
Oh,
so I used to work in North Canton, and I
oh,
worked for that company for 5 6 years. Okay,
okay.
and in 2018 they laid off everyone,
Oh, okay.
just like you, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, 200 people laid off, but
That's very for automotive. Yeah.
it was for a fuel cell. It was a different sector. But what I'm trying to tell you is, I did not have to go back to India because I had a green card.
Yeah.
Understand my point?
Yes. Yeah.
Again, after 1 year, I lost the job again.
Hmm.
I didn't have to go back again. I then it took me a while to find another job, but I was able to do it because I had a green card.
Hmm.
My point here is laying off from a private sector is inevitable,
Yes. I
right?
agree. Yes.
Agree? Okay. So if you agree on that point, think of it now is if you live here for another, let's say 7 years, okay? You are 40 years old, you get laid off. What are you going to do? Then you will not find a job here, and then you're not going to find job there.
Yeah.
So my advice is, and second of all, if you are able to find an MBA, you are able to find do a PhD. See, if you go for a PhD program as an Indian PhD program, the chances for you to get a green card is still better. Still
Hmm.
not great, still better.
Yeah.
But with a master's degree, trust me, I can't imagine this the tension that people go through. And you know that I'm not. You have gone through that, and
Yes.
everybody who is working right now. I mean, trust me, I have never seen this in my life, but what I see these days in LinkedIn,
Yeah.
people are just I actually today I have a webinar for master's students. There are about 10 20 people that I selected that are looking for jobs, and they have probably some are saying that we don't have more than 60 days because of OPT and all that and things like that.
Yeah.
So let's say if they are not able to find the job, what happens? They come back, right?
Yeah.
Or they do something like they go to some other university, apply for PhD, whatever. But all they are doing is probably delaying the problem, not solving it. So what you are trying to do is also is because you have this notion, oh, life is better there. Yeah, life is better there, not for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't have to tell you. I mean, yes, you're right. You are in a country, but it's not your country until it becomes your country. And if you get laid
Yeah.
off, you are not the part of that country. The best country in the world is Norway or Switzerland or whatever, but that's not your country until you
Yeah.
become the part of that country, right? So one has to admit that first of all. You have
Yeah.
to admit it, right? And so if I was you, I won't come, to be honest with you. I won't come unless and until, especially going to this university, paying from my pocket and going through this problem. I won't suggest, to be honest with you. I think it's in today's scenario, this would be definitely a suicide.
Yeah.
Trust me. I would rather, you are a young person. You have seen US, you have seen the world culture. I mean, if I was you, I would try to do things on my own or try to find a job or whatever. It's unfortunate that you got laid off. And don't think too much what
Yeah.
people are thinking. Many times we are pressurized about what people gonna think. They're not there to help you, trust me.
Yeah.
And you can't make everybody happy. You have to think about yourself, you have to think about your family, and that's all. And trust me, coming over here is will be tough for your family too. It's not easy, right? So again, if I was you, I would, if let's say I'm in your situation, I will definitely say, let me spend a time going back to school, or probably I might do an MBA or something.
Mm.
So I will go back to school, do my MBA, because my thinking is a lot of companies are coming back to India now for manufacturing and also. So so this is, to be honest with you, I see this as a temporary situation.
Mm.
But what I will think is, what can I do to prepare myself for next 1 or 2 years coming? And
Yeah.
if Apple is coming to India, or any company is coming to India, what they're gonna ask or what they're gonna hire?
Yeah.
In your case, my suggestion would be, if you can go back to school, a good school, join a good MBA program, come out, and probably you should be able to find a job where then you will be able to probably travel not only to US, to UK and whatever, right? So you can gain more experience and things like that, rather than coming over here to some university which has
No.
no identity or whatever, right? and
Yeah.
and then going, probably your struggle would be much higher.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because for me it's very easy to tell you, because the situation, you have seen things here. And
Yeah.
trust me, right now, because of COVID, the situation is much worse.
Yeah. That's what I was like gauging the situation. What
Mm.
if this COVID situation? I was in USA versus in India. I felt India was a better place. Yeah.
You see, it's not about better place, it's about where you feel comfortable. I told you my situation, right? I was
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And there is a reason for that, because but if I was in your situation, I probably would be exactly in your place actually.
Yeah.
I probably back to my home in India, and probably doing things which I guess you are doing, or probably looking for some answers,
Yeah.
right? So that's what I'm saying is, if for some people it works out, it works out. But if for some people, and a lot of them, it's not working anymore, that's that whole thing,
Yeah.
right? So, and I don't see that as a failure, to be honest with you. I think another thing I'm feeling is, you're thinking, oh, did I fail, no, I don't think. It's just this events. And as I said, you did not do anything wrong, and it was unfortunate that you have to go through this, but a lot of people are going through this now, a lot. Actually, I spoke to one person,
Yeah.
I think a month back. It was in exactly in your situation, and he came back to, I think, Hyderabad or somewhere. He used to work for Honda, and he was telling me the same thing.
No, the phone charge was going. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, so Pramod, I think I'm done almost. But if you do, you have any other questions for me?
One other option which I felt was like to take uh, PMP exams, which can help me like I have like master's degree and some experience. Although I'm interviewing with couple other companies here, I'm trying to get a job. But COVID situation has made because there are freeze everywhere, and
See, here's the thing.
so
One thing I will tell you. Since you did your your masters in mechanical, right? So you had a specific skill set.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah,
in coming days, the country like India or something, where you will have jobs in manufacturing, you will have jobs in different sectors.
yeah,
If you have a professional degree or a certification like PMP, Six Sigma, or MBA, that would be very helpful, because that allows you to work for any company. Like if you have an MBA in marketing or finance, you can work for any company, right? You're not just limited to manufacturing. So
Yes.
as if I was you, I would
Will
definitely.
diversify the portfolio. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you have a PMP, you can work as a project manager, and project managers are required in automotive company, in a ketchup company, in bottling company, any company, right?
Yeah.
So that will definitely help you. Your CV will then be acceptable to many companies. Or let's say if you go for an MBA or something. See, many times they say that if there is a tough scenario, people go back to school. So I strongly agree with that. But definitely, I will say don't waste your time sitting there.
Yeah.
Get a certification, do something, engage yourself. Because if you're
Yeah.
not engaged, then your brain will go under depression,
Yeah.
right? So don't do that. Make sure you're engaged. When you wake up in the morning, make sure you have something to do,
Yeah.
right? So keep doing that. Like, oh, I have to take classes, I have to do this, I have to get into something, either an MBA program or a PMP program or something. Get into that as soon as
Yeah.
possible, because otherwise you will keep on thinking, oh, should I go to US, should I go to Canada, should I go to this? And trust me, not a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm not a lawyer, so I can't advise you on many things, but the this is the advice from a person who is talking to a lot of people, a lot of students, and like talking to you and everyone. And what I am seeing is not a conducive scenario
Mm.
for immigration,
Yes.
unless and until the proper policy comes out. Right now everything is under confusion, but it definitely looks to me is moving forward. Like when I graduated in 2010,
Mm.
when I got my green card, and how my career progressed and everything. Ask if I talk to a student who is graduating today, definitely things have changed from easy to tough from immigration point of view,
Yeah.
and it doesn't look like it's going to go back.